So, with the hair tour coming to a close this coming Sunday, I needed to somehow I needed to somehow express how thankful I am for this show. Um, I don't even know where to start, but I guess the logical place to start would be with the creators of the show. Um, Jim Rado and Jerome Ragni, I probably screwed up the pronunciation of that second one, who wrote the book and lyrics, and Galt McDermott, who wrote the music. I wanted to thank them for creating this unbelievable piece of theater that has saved lives. It's just brilliant, and there's nothing else like it. And I mean, I've seen it a good number of times, and I know people who have seen it an absurd number of times, and it just never gets old. I don't know. It's just one of those things that it's somehow new every time you've seen it, even if you've seen it a good number of times before. There's always a little like there's always something really subtle that you never noticed before, or something that you suddenly have a new appreciation for, and there's really just nothing else like it. um, Other than that, I want to thank David Letterman for having them on the show, because that was the first thing I saw the cast on, and that is what made me fall absolutely in love with it. And I saw that David Letterman show. I mean, obviously not in person, but I saw it on TV. And at the end of their performance, like, they were standing on chairs and they were jumping everywhere, and there was just so much energy, and it was beautiful. And by the end of that, I was like, "That's it. I need to see it." And then the Tony performance, of course, was also fantastic. Um, and so thank you for giving them the Tony, because I obviously think they deserved it. Um, yeah, and I finally got to see the show. I think it was July 16th, 2009. And obviously, like, I left that the show that day telling my dad, I want to I want to see this show every day for the rest of my life. Like, I think those are my exact words. And it's just, I don't even know how to explain it without getting repetitive, but this show is just, it's beautiful in a different way. A different way from everything else in the world that I've seen. Obviously, I want to thank the cast. Allison Case for being the first person in the cast that I met. I bumped into her at Duane Reade, I think 2 or 3 days before I saw the show in New York. And obviously, she was lovely. Um, who else? I want to thank, I think Eden Espinosa it was, when she was supposed to be Sheila. And I was really big on Wicked at the time, and I found out she was going to be in this show Hair, and that's the first thing I ever heard about it. So thank you, Eden Espinosa, even though she didn't end up being in it. She was supposed to play Sheila, right? That's what I remember. And so thank you, Casey Levy, for being an awesome Sheila, which I'm sure Eden would have been as well, but Casey is fantastic. Thank you to Casey Chic for, I've already expressed to her, I think, everything I'm thankful to her about, so I don't want to get too repetitive, but she's been my favorite performer for a long time, and she's just she's just super sweet, and she tolerates me when I'm at the show a lot. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people probably would have gotten annoyed and been like, that weird girl is here again," but she's great. Um, I want to thank everyone in every cast that I've seen, because they make the show what it is. And I don't know, it's a different dynamic every time one person is out and is replaced by somebody else. It's a totally different dynamic. So I want to thank every single person I've seen in this show, because it wouldn't have been the same without them. And I especially want to thank the tour cast. Um, the tour being in Florida for the amount of time that it was is what really allowed me to, like, it's what really allowed me to see the show as many times as I've been able to. And also, it allowed me to see a different cast from the original, and different kinds of different people on for different roles. And I love every cast, but I just really love the tour cast, because even though I loved the show before, the tour cast is what made me, I don't even know how to explain it. the touring production is what made this really a big part of my life, I guess. Um, yeah, I don't even Marshall. I want to thank Marshall Carolyn for being awesome, and yeah, that's really it. He's awesome. I want to thank Alec Reed for. I was really scared going in after Casey Sheik left the show to see a different Genie because Casey's been there almost every time. The only time I saw someone else was when the second cast was on. I saw Annalie Ashford. I was so afraid um, to see someone else's Genie because it's my favorite character, and I don't know. I was afraid that she would lose, that Genie would lose her charm or something. And Alec was fantastic, and she's so sweet. And my hair is doing crazy things right now, and I'm just trying to make it look normal. Um, but yeah, Alec is super sweet, and it's definitely a different portrayal of a Genie, but it's beautiful in its own way. I don't know. There's just basically, I want to thank everybody who's ever been in any sort of cast of the show, anybody who has ever done lighting, sound, stage design, costume design, props, um, choreography, anything. Like, I'm just a huge dork right now, and I'm trying to express how much this show means to me, but I don't think I'm doing a very good job at it. But hopefully, if anybody is watching this, they can see through my inability to speak eloquently, and see how much this show really has changed me. Um, I mean, a couple other people I want to say hi to are Sammy. Hi, Sammy, because she lottoed with me and it was awesome, and we won lotto seats. I haven't seen the show nearly as many times as she did, so winning that lotto was like huge for me. It was only the second time I've ever won lotto. And yeah, yeah. And my two sisters, hi. One of them has been to the show a lot with me, and the other one me and my other sister first row lotto seats for what we thought was going to be our last show, and ended up not, which is awesome, but still. Um, yeah. Other than that, Karen Tackett for also being an awesome Sheila and for giving me hugs, and Kylan and Jim Rado for going to so many shows, and I'm glad because I was able to tell the guy who wrote the show that I love his show, which is just ridiculous. Like there, I don't know. There's nothing else like it, and I'm saying that a lot, but I really mean it. Um, and I'm running out of time. This has gotten way longer than I was expecting it to. One more thing to whoever's idea it was. I don't know if this was part of the production, like when it, initially on Broadway years ago. But whoever's idea it was to have the dance party and have the audience up on the stage, brilliant. I salute you and thank you because it just curtain call is one of my favorite parts of the show, and I'm not gonna go on a rant as to why because that's gonna take a lot more than the minute and a half than the minute and a half I have left. But thank you because this is one of the most beautiful parts of the show. Um, okay, I'm sorry this was such a long rant, but yeah, I don't even know who's ever gonna watch this, but I just needed to get it out there. And I love all of you, and I love everyone, and I love this show. And thank you to the tribe and to everyone else involved. Like I already said, I'm repeating myself. Okay, bye.